Hey everyone, it's Evocative Scents here. And since we are already into the early summer and spring season, so why don't we take a look at some of the finest new spring fragrances which you can also carry through the early summers. At the time of recording this video, right now it's hovering around 37 degrees Celsius mark. For some of you out there, this temperature might seem that the summer is in its full glory. But trust me, the summer is just getting started here. But hopefully some of you might be staying somewhere where the weather would still be pleasant, something nice and cool. So keeping in mind the temperatures right now, I will be discussing about fragrances that will slightly lean towards the summer season, but a few picks will be for the cool spring. So without any further delay, let's jump into it. Well, I would like to start off this list with a relatively new fragrance, and it's from the house of Afnan. It's the new Turathi Electric, not the regular one, which is a very popular summer fragrance by the way. This one on the other hand, I would strictly keep it for the spring season. While it opens up with a fresh, exciting, refreshing citrusy fruity smell, it is the dry down that sets it apart. It has a very clean, sweet vanillic dry down, and some of the fruitiness from the beginning also trickles down, lingering on for quite a while. Overall, it's a very light, fruity, refreshing yet sweet fragrance, but with a definite soft scent bubble. Now if you are okay with a slightly intimate fragrance, then I could definitely say this fragrance embodies the spring season. Not only that, it's not a simple fruity sweet fragrance, but it has subtle nuances of powderiness from the orange blossom, touch of amberiness in the dry down, and also a mix of some white florals. What you are getting is a very smooth scent structure, but with a trade-off, its performance. Expect around 4 to 5 hours of longevity, and the projection is good enough for the only first hour. Now moving on to the next fragrance of this list, which in my opinion is a very good candidate for spring as well as summer season, and also an excellent alternative to Rasasi Havas Black. If you are wondering what makes it more desirable than the Rasasi Havas Black, more precisely during the spring and summer season, of course it is the extra dose of freshness, combining the brighter opening with a less mossy dry down. In fact, I had made it clear that I like this fragrance more than the Rasasi Havas Black. The opening of the pineapple, bergamot and grapefruit is really addictive, and this scent has a transparent quality to it as well, which is not the case with the Rasasi Havas Black, because the black on the other hand has a very dense character to it with a very dark green and woody undertone. In my honest opinion, that one is more suited for rainy season or slightly cool days. The Cullinan Diamond Iris from Ibrahim Qurashi will not offer you that brutal performance of the Rasasi Havas Black, but on most days I would take that freshness over the brutal performance, since generally it's very hot around here, and sometimes it also offers great value for money as well, especially if you can get that 150 ml or 200 ml for good price. So if you are a big fan of Rasasi Havas Black, then definitely check this one out. On the performance front, it is once again on the average side. You should be able to extract about 5 to 6 hours of longevity and good 1.5 hours of projection. But in terms of versatility, it is extremely versatile. You can wear this fragrance to office, casual events, any situation you could possibly imagine. Moving on to the next fragrance, here I am including a perfume that is more suitable for youthful audience. It is the Dumont Nitro Red Intensely. Well, this cologne is based on the very popular Invictus DNA, but there are certainly big differences. First of all, it is more fruity and refined version of that, and secondly, it is much more sweeter than the comparable fragrances. Here I am looking at the Rasasi Havas Ice. If you already have the Rasasi Havas Ice, you can skip this one. However, that doesn't mean that these perfumes are one-to-one similar. Especially the peach and apple are very evident in the opening before moving on to the woody sweetness. If you were looking to get the Rasasi Havas Ice, then I do feel that this is more refined and better than the ice. The pricing is also roughly the same, so I consider this one to be a better fragrance. Personally, I was never really interested in the Invictus DNA. Not that those fragrances are bad, but I never found them to be groundbreaking or something like that. But I definitely agree that they really garner compliments and garner attention as well. Now moving on to the next one, a fragrance that kindles my interest in perfumes. It is the Fahad gauge from Arabiyat Prestige. If you are finding this bottle design to be interesting and beautiful, you will also be happy to see that the packaging is equally good, and it also extends to the smell as well. It is a very clean, floral heavy fragrance with a very heavy focus on the white florals. You will find that this perfume will remind you of various other fragrances which I would say belongs to similar space, most notably the Amouage Reflection Man and the Gucci Guilty Elixir. Along with the white florals though, it has significant amount of sweetness from on the vanilla, which I feel could have been toned down a little bit, but that's just my personal opinion. If you love sweet, clean, powdery kind of fragrances with little bit of sweetness and woodiness sprinkled over it, then you are absolutely going to love this one. But if you're someone who hates floral fragrances, then my friends, this is the fragrance you need to skip out. Performance wise, it's on the average side once again, and you might have noticed a pattern here. Most of the fragrances that I have discussed today have average performance, and that's because most of the perfumes are on the fresher side. However, the next cologne is perfectly suitable for a cool spring night, and this is the new Afnan 9 PM Night Out. While all the 9 PM flankers are very sweet, they were still a significant departure from the regular 9 PM. But with the new release Afnan 9 PM Night Out, this fragrance has not completely deviated from its root. Instead, it builds upon that. What I mean by that is that instead of being completely dense and sweet fragrance, it has a little bit of transparent tropical fruity opening. There is still little bit of aromatic and powderiness from the lavender, but it certainly feels less cloying than the regular 9 PM. And if you are watching my videos for a long time, you might well have noticed that I do not have the regular 9 PM in my collection. And that's because I found it to be very dense and extremely sweet, and little bit of headache inducing for me as well. This feels way better and have good performance as well, but it's not definitely as strong as the 9 PM Rebel, which is still my favorite 9 PM fragrance till date. I would say the 9 PM Rebel is more suitable for the daytime, and this one is more suitable for the evening. By the way, if you want a full review of this perfume, please comment down below. And if you are finding this video interesting, please hit that like button as well. Now moving on to another exciting fragrance, a fragrance which I have reviewed recently and one that is extremely versatile. Yes, I am talking about this new Aromatix Frostbite. While I could have easily included the Platinum Blanc, I decided to go for the more versatile Frostbite and reserve the Platinum Blanc for the summer season. The Frostbite is a very good blue fragrance with a distinct focus on the blueberry accord, and all the while still being fruity, it is not as sweet as some of the previous fragrances that I have discussed just now. And with the addition of soft woodiness in the dry down and of course the aromatic lavender, this one truly walks into the signature scent worthy category. I have discussed about this fragrance in my previous video, so I am not going into too much details. But if you are looking for a fragrance that does the job in all situations and you want to end up smelling like fresh out of the shower, then this cologne is highly recommended. However, I must say that I feel that this is slightly overpriced, since paying slightly more will help you venture into the designers category. Now talking about price, I wanted to end this video with a fresh chippy. So here I have picked the fragrance called Varakh Silver. This perfume will remind you of the MFK gentle silver fluidity and also somewhat similar to Aspen from Coty. It's a very clean, fresh, slightly spicy but more in terms of aromatic quality. These characteristics make it perfectly suitable for spring as well as summer season. Extremely versatile and perfectly unisex. But the thing is, it is quite a soft fragrance, so you will need to refresh it at least 2 to 3 times in a day. So these were my 7 fragrances for this spring season, and every fragrance quite different from each other. If you found this video of any value, please hit that like button, and if you have any thoughts about these fragrances, do let me know in the comment section down below. And if you love fragrance related content like this, please do consider subscribing to the channel, as your support truly means a lot to me. And while you are there, don't forget to hit the notification bell as well. And that's it for today's video. I will meet you all in my next video. Till then, stay safe and as always, stay honest.